Hi everyone and welcome back to Grade 11 Maths with Mr. Simons, where we make maths easy and we get you exam ready. So in today's lesson we're specifically looking at trig functions in the past exam paper of November 2018, where we had to interpret the trig functions. We want you to be able to find the equation of a cos and a tan graph. We've asked you related questions on period, range, etc. Right? So let's look at the question. So again, first thing, as I said, you can pause, write down the question, or you can try to answer it straight. Try to answer. So they've given us graph f of x equal a cos b theta and g of x equals c tan theta. Element we're working from minus 180 to 180 degrees. Graphs intersect there, so that point P there is 58 and 1,6 and Q. Write down the range of f. So there they want the range of f. If m, this point here, is minus 45 and minus 1, determine the value of the c there. Write down the values of a and b. Determine the coordinates of q. So you want this point of intersection. K lies on f such that km is parallel to the y-axis. Calculate the length of km. If the system of x's is shifted 45 degrees to the left, graphs remain fixed. Write down the equation that's now represented by the graph of f. Say pause, try to answer, see what you already know, so that you know when you're going through the work that I'm going to be explaining, you know what you don't know and what you need to work on and strengthen. Leave it in the comments, and that you're struggling with, I'll do specific videos on that topics with the hope that we can help you and make you better. The whole objective of me doing this is to help you improve, right? So we need to know where you're going wrong so that I can help you improve in that specific area, right? Anything that we need to improve on just requires regular practice and more practice. So question 1, let's look at it. Right, so they say range of f. So there, f is in red. I've colored it in red. So range, graph goes highest point there 3, lowest point here minus 3. So my range, y less or equal to 3, greater or equal to minus 3. That's the range for the red. Or y element of, because it's greater than equal to, square bracket, minus 3, positive 3. So hope you follow. You should be able to physically see the range on the graph. Right, let's go to the second problem. Now if m is negative 45 and minus 1 lies on G, determine the value of C. So this is minus 45 and negative 1. Right, so we should know the tan of 45 is normally 1. Right, and the tan of negative 45 equal minus 1. So if that is minus 1, then automatically then it means the C value here is 1. Because there, if we continue up, if that's negative 1 at this point where it's 1, would be tan 45. So tan 45 equal positive 1. Tan negative 45 equal negative 1. I hope it makes sense. So there tan 45 is 1. Tan negative 45, negative 1. C is 1. Right, so hope you understand how I found that C value, right? Now let's go to the third question. Right, now in 6.3, write down the values of A and B. So we want what's the amplitude of the cos graph, and we want to know what is the period with B. So A, if we look here, the graph goes from 3 to minus 3, so the middle of that is 0. So from the middle to the highest point is 3 units, right? So there, A equal to 3, because from 0 to there, I move 3 units. From 0 to there, I move 3 units. So amplitude is 3. Right, if we look at the whole cos graph as drawn, so there's first half and there's the second half. Put them together, whole complete cos graph goes from 180 to minus 180. So 180 minus 180 would give me 360. So therefore we say B equal 1 because period equal 360 degrees. So in short, f of x equal in 3 cos theta. Right? So 1 mark for A and 1 mark for B. Right? Let's look at the next. Right? 6.4. Determine the coordinates of Q. So Q in short there, your memos, and this is what we normally do, just says 122 and negative 1,6. There you see the point P was 58 and negative 1,6. Right? Or 1,6. So 1,6 and negative 1,6 there. If we reflect, right? So from there, in short, what we're looking at is, can you find two values that go into the cos graph and the tan graph that gives me the same answer? So if I use there, I can see it's between 90 and 180, but I know this point is 135 every 45. So between 90 and 135, this should roughly be between 120 and 130. All right? So 3 cos 120 then gives me negative 150. Tan 120 gives me negative 173. If I increase to 3 cos 122, gives me negative 1,6, or roughly negative 1,6. It's 1,59 something. And we round off, it becomes negative 1,60, and tan 122 and also gives me negative 160,60. So 122 and 122 gives me the same answer there. And then my y value is negative 1,6. Right? So hope you follow. So those are points of intersection. If you want to, you can go solve it like the previous exam question I did, where we did general solution and go the long route. But here they're only giving 2 marks. So we expect you to use a calculator and find the values where they are more or less the same. Right? Let's look at the next question. Right, now the last question, they say K lies on F such that Km is parallel to the y-axis. So the distance, when you say parallel, distance from here to M and the distance from there to M is the same. Calculate the length of Km. So in short, the y value there minus the y value here should give me the distance from K to M. So K, which is at, K and M are both at negative 45 because it's parallel to the y-axis. So if I put in negative 45 here, I get 3 square root 2 over 2. M, we already know, is minus 45 and minus 1. So K and M, because it's parallel, it means it forms 90 degrees there with the x-axis. So the x-coordinate for K and M is the same. Right? That's minus 1 and that's 3 square root 2 over 2. So Km would then simply be 3 square root 2 over 2 minus 1, which then gives me 3,12. And there I'm supposed to type in units, so make sure you put in units. 6.6, they say if the system of x's is shifted 45 degrees to the left and the graphs remains fixed. So we leave the graphs as it is, but we take this whole axis there in black behind and we move that 45 degrees. Right? Write down the equation that's now represented. So if I shift that 45 degrees, I'm moving to the left in this direction here. Then what happens? Normally we would write plus 45. But the graph, because it stays fixed, has actually moved 45 degrees to the right, and therefore it's written as negative 45. Right? The period still stays 3. So don't get caught out with that. 45 degrees to the left. If it said there the graph is moved, then it would be plus 45. But the axis, the x and y axis, was moved 45 degrees to the left. So my new 0, right, would be here at plus 45. So this would then read plus 45, and 0 would be here by minus 45. Does it make sense? So because the graph is starting by plus 45, you should know plus 45 minus 45 then gives me 0. If you like the lesson, please like and subscribe. Right? Continue practicing. Wish you nothing but the best. God bless. Bye.